Hi, this is Michelle Lange with Lange Media, and we've been working with a lot of entrepreneurs to market and launch their live events and offers. And I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to speak and sponsor at Deborah Rachel Kagan's Rock Your Mojo Women's Weekend last April, which was your inaugural event. And it was really an impactful event. It was really amazing because I loved the conversation going on where Deborah was talking about the importance of, if you want to achieve anything big in your life, whether it's your life, your business, your relationships, really coming from the inside out, really working on who you are being, how you're showing up. And then from there, it ends up having a ripple effect of what you want to create. So I think that Deborah's work is really important for any business owner who wants to achieve big things. And so for that reason, Deborah has another event coming up this April, and this will be Rock Your Mojo Women's Weekend, right?
Absolutely.
Hi, Deborah. Thanks for joining us.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you again. And it's always great to see you in person. But this virtual platform is super fun too.
It is. Thank you for coming and talking about what you're up to. So I would love to hear about this event, like what inspired you to create and to do it again this coming year.
So it's continued to build since we started it in 2016. And I think, like I just said, it's always so impactful for us to get together, like literally in person, no screens in between us, right? So actually live and in the flesh. And in this day and age, and in our 21st century where we're constantly virtual, which is incredibly helpful because it does provide some level of connectivity, there's also a lot of separation that's been going on. And so the Rock Your Mojo Women's Weekend is, I really look at it as our modern day women's circle. And it's so challenging for us to get together, either on a daily basis or even a semi-regular basis. And the Rock Your Mojo Women's Weekend gives the opportunity for women to gather under the umbrella of a similar context, because every woman that comes to it is literally excited and inspired to be the best woman she can be. That's what we're up to there. So it's that was really the initial impetus for starting the event.
And with that in mind, I would love to hear, like, what does it mean to you? Let's define what mojo is in general, and then also what it means to rock your mojo.
Absolutely. So, mojo, it's a good 4-letter word. And, all of my work that I've been doing in my entrepreneurial life for 18 years now is all based on the fact that everything is energy. Everything is energy. And so mojo is literally our life force. It's the energy that is within us. It's around us. We are never without it. We were born with it, and it will never go away. So that's what mojo is. Now, many, many women that come to work with me, why they come to this event is because they think, oh my God, I've lost my mojo, right? I thought that at some point in my life, which is what really inspired me to cultivate and develop the work that I have. And we actually haven't lost it. It's just like the volume dial on our mojo has gone, really, really low and sometimes below zero, right? But it is within us. And so rocking your mojo is about you being the DJ of your own life, to control that volume dial, to turn it up at will, to utilize your own power and your own presence to create a life that you love personally and professionally.
And so you're probably in a way like the mojo whisperer, right? Like you get in there and you help them bring it back out, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's sweet. I love that, actually, the mojo whisperer. That's cool. I mean, let's actually just break out what mojo is, because it's a 4-letter word, and the way that we look at it in the context of all the work that I offer, and specifically over the context of the Rock Your Mojo Women's Weekend, we go through the 4 pillars of what mojo is. So when you're at this live event, when you're having this literally, experiential event, because you'll go through exercises, it'll be on the playing field of the weekend so you can experience it right then and there for yourself. There are these 4 parts to mojo. And the first is the M, which is all about our mindset. And again, in this modern day, life, we are really at a deficit with our mindset, right? We have to get our heads screwed on straight as women. And there's a lot of confusion about what it means to be a woman in the 21st century, what it means to be a woman who's not only confident, but a woman who's super comfortable in her own body and unafraid of truly being a feminine powerhouse, right? So that's a lot of mindset stuff. And we work with mindset. The O of Mojo is what I call the oracle. Now the oracle is our body. It's the life below the neck. And again, really since, late 60s, early 70s, there's been this rise of something I call the masculinization of women, where, we've definitely made great strides and advances. However, we've cut ourselves off from this thing I call the oracle, our bodies. And I call it the oracle because our bodies always know the answer. Our bodies have our mojo inside our body. We literally have a storehouse of mojo in our physical body. We go over that during the weekend. I teach you exercises of how to tap into that. So you, again, can become that DJ and turn the volume dial up, right? And we start to use the body as a barometer and a gauge for when we want to understand what's a yes and what's a no in our life, like a genuine yes or no, right? So that's the oracle piece. Then there's the J of Mojo, which is joining with all the different roles we play in life. And, I know you as well. It's like we wear lots of different hats, right? We have different roles. We're running our businesses. We have personal lives. We have friends. We have family. Like all of those different roles that we play, they really get a lot of times enmeshed and confused, but mostly about 80% of our roles are shoved in a closet or put under a rug, right? Because we pretty much go, all right, well, I've got to do the work thing, and I'm going to hopefully figure out the personal thing, right? So what we cover and what we look at when it comes to rocking our mojo is starting to fluff out, start to play the full hand of the cards of all the roles that we have. And that allows a full self-expression, right? And when there's full self-expression, there's a lot more confidence. And of course, there's a lot more mojo accessible every single day. The final part, right, of the mojo is the last O, and this is the oasis. And these are the environments that we spend our time in. Our environments really do shape, how we think about ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, what we believe is possible. And our environments have their own mojo, because again, the mojo energy is everywhere. It's out here as well as in here. And when we align our environment with our inner self and vice versa, that's when we start to create real success in our lives.
What would be an example of somebody aligning their environment with themselves?
Sure. So one of the easiest places, and we talk about this a lot, and I really unpack this at the weekend, is we just start with the thing that's closest to you, which is your bedroom. And so even, if you're at home right now and you're listening to this after the video, go into your bedroom and look at it and go, does this really represent who I am and where I'm going? Because the thing that I find, and the environment space, I've been a professional feng shui consultant for 18 years. And so the environment, I've spent almost 2 decades at this point working with people in that capacity. And most environments people are living in are from their past, based on the past, as opposed to where you're actually going towards in the creation of your life as a future, right? And when your environment is based in the past, it's going to be quite a struggle to build the future that you really want. Because again, the energy, everything is energy, is keeping you shackled and pulled right to the past instead of compelling you towards your goals, your dreams, and your desires.
Yeah.
And again, the thing that's the easiest and the best way to start is, of course, with the bedroom, because it is the closest thing to you. And so that will have the greatest effect on your life. And it's been amazing because some of the women who have come to the Rock Your Mojo Women's Weekend, and they did the tips and the tools and some of the exercises that I teach, that they did in the bedroom, it's like people have been sleeping better. There's a woman who literally now has started a business that she's always wanted to start but was afraid to. Another woman who hadn't dated in, I think, 15 years is now actively dating and having a great time and feeling amazing. And these were all based on, not just these things from the bedroom, but definitely some of the bedroom tools and the other mojo things that they experienced and literally put into their life, into action from the weekend. So it's really exciting to see women expand and just be more of themselves. And, it has to be practical. It has to be tangible. It has to be something that you can put into action right away, because otherwise, what's the point? Well, let me tell you something. You want to really have a tangible result, you take an action on that new awareness. And now that's what is going to not only raise your own mojo vibration and really ultimately create what I call a mojo-licious life. That's where it's at, is the taking the action part. And so, there's a lot of actions that you get from the weekend.
Love it. So tell me, are there any other key takeaways that people can expect to walk away with?
The thing that I've heard consistently from the women that attend, because really, I honestly, it's like I am there as a channel, as a conduit to give this information to women. So, what people can take away is what I hear and what I experience from the women who have attended and the women who continue to work with me is, for sure, without a doubt, it is an absolutely quantum leap in confidence. Right? Huge quantum leap in confidence. And what the confidence allows you to do is then it allows you to take that next step within your business that maybe you've been holding back on, right? The confidence allows you to go, you know what? I really do want to go and create a romantic relationship, and I've been holding back, right, for X, Y, or Z reasons. But that confidence allows you to now put yourself out there and ultimately create the relationship that you've been desiring, right? The confidence is going to allow you to wear the kind of clothing that you think, you know what? I don't know if this is really for me, or I could only wear this type of thing. So it's a level of confidence, and it's, that goes hand in hand with this level of self-perception. Right. It's very challenging for us, and it's challenging for women to have an accurate view of yourself. I mean, true, right? Happens to me, as well, because I am not immune to anything. I'm a guinea pig for all the work that I teach and I share, and I'm a big believer of, walk your talk, sister. So, so the accurate self-perception is, again, another avenue for you to recognize that you truly, embody your own mojo, and that you truly are a woman of substance, capable of the things that you desire. And those are some of the huge takeaways, and from that place, again, it's about who you're being. And the real formula for success is to be, then do, and then have. I don't know of any other women's, exclusive women's weekends where you are focused on developing who you are as a woman, right? It's not like a woman's business event. It's not a woman's yoga retreat. It's not a woman's, networking conference, right? All those are great. This is an event specifically for women to embody themselves fully and to really tap into, again, that deep level of self-expression, to have, the personal and professional lives that they ultimately desire, because they now have access to their true mojo and their true feminine power. Right? I don't see it. I don't see things out there, and that makes it different. The other thing is, there's a real level of incredible, practical, simple, action-oriented steps combined with metaphysical, energetic teachings, right? So there's that connection, which for any of you who have ever read or listened to or know anything about quantum physics, right? We're in a world where now the practical and, the seen and the unseen, there's really no separation. And this event brings you the seen and the unseen and teaches you how to work with both. And I don't see a lot of that in this way of true feminine empowerment. I just saw a couple women who attended the last event, and one thing that actually is so remarkable to me is they physically look different. They didn't lose weight necessarily. They didn't really do anything different with their hair. They physically look different. And I truly believe that's because they are now aligned with who they are as women, and they have that kind of confidence, and there's less doubt, and there's less stress, in their being. And so there's just more light that is coming from them, which again is this confidence, is this joy, is this enthusiasm for their lives, because they're feeling so much better about who they are. Again, some of them have been dating, and these are women who hadn't dated in, I think over a decade. And that's a really big deal, right, for a woman, especially when that part has been shut down and put to the side, because there was still that ache of I desire, right, for a relationship, but this extreme fear to even, put themselves out there, or thinking that there isn't going to be somebody that would be a good match, right? And now they're actively dating and having a great time. So I think that's fantastic. But there's another gal who she booked more business in September and October of last year than she did the entire previous year. So, that's kind of no small shakes. It's just a real, again, practical, tangible result. And it's really based on the fact that she had been using the tools and the teachings that she learned from the weekend.
So Deborah, one thing I noticed last year that I thought was really cool was just the range, the age range and diversity of women there. There were women in their 20s, there were millennials, Gen Xers, there were women in their 60s and 70s, the whole gamut. And also from a real variety of professions, from completely creative to more, law and accounting. It was just very diverse and really beautiful how they all came together with one goal, which is pretty much to rock their mojo. I'm wondering if you can speak to who you're expecting to come this year.
Well, you know what, here, and I love that you brought that up, actually, Michelle, because here's the thing that I feel like just so incredibly grateful about are the women, the kind of women that show up at the event. Because the other thing that across the board, all the attendees say is, I cannot believe how amazing these women are that are in the audience, that I'm meeting, that I'm getting to speak to. The women kept saying, I am so happy to now realize I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this. I'm not alone in the feeling that I wasn't rocking my mojo, or I felt so disconnected from it. And now I see, oh gosh, it wasn't just me. It was, you and you and you. And the level of inclusivity and inclusion, that the women have for each other, and the love and the support that women share with each other over the weekend, and because it's so gorgeous, and that is something that I am fiercely committed to as a woman, just in general, is to provide that kind of safe, transformative space for women to access who they truly are, and do that in a space of love and in a space of safety. I did not have that growing up, and I know many of you watching did not have that either, and you might have never experienced it. And many of the women who come to this event say, honestly, if the only thing I got out of it was the support and the love of the other women in the room, that would be enough for me, right? Because that alone can transform. That alone can transform how you see yourself, and again, see what's possible for you.
So Deborah, thank you so much for joining us. It sounds like it's going to be an incredible event. And if you're interested in attending, you can go to rockyourmojowomensweekend.com.
You can reach out to me. There's our email there, our phone number there. I'm happy to hop on the phone with you. My team's happy to hop on the phone with you. Basically, you know, if there's anything that we can support you with, that's why we're here. And I love seeing you in person. Like, that's one of the gifts of doing these live events. So it's totally my joy. And I'd love to meet you in person. And I know all the other women who are already signed up want to connect with you as well. So definitely check out rockyourmojowomensweekend.com. You'll hear the video that I've created for you, so you can learn more about the event, and you'll actually feel the energy of the event through the video as well. And then there's some other women that are talking about their experience at the event, so you can get some additional information and make sure it's a good fit for you. Let me tell you something: if you're a woman, I know it's a good fit for you. So I'd love to meet you in person.
Sounds like an amazing event. So thank you again, Deborah, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks for connecting with me. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.